5 easy and delicious meals, each in only 5 minutes. Let's do this. Go ahead and check out the link in the description box to find my cookbook. So the first one we're gonna make is a combination of 2 of my favorite foods, grilled cheese and pizza. All I have to do is butter my bread. I'm using sourdough here because it's just perfect base. I'm just gonna butter the outsides. Make sure the butter's at room temperature. This will help it get nice, get crispy, brown once we grill it up. And then flip it onto the other side. And then on the inside, I'm gonna layer it with 4 cheeses. I have a mix of the Quattro formaggio from Trader Joe's here and then mozzarella. So I'm working on layering the cheeses and all of the toppings on one slice, and then we're gonna flip this over later. And to make our grilled cheese pizza really flavorful, I like to add a little bit of garlic powder and Italian seasoning. Some basil, pepperoni, a little more cheese right on top. There's a lot of cheese in here. There's like basically 5 different types of cheese, but it's so good. And it's gonna be nice and melty. Close it up, and we're just gonna grill this off. So I'm gonna heat my pan on medium-high heat, and we're gonna cook each side for about 2.5 minutes so that it gets nice and melty. 5 minutes. I typically like to cover it to help the cheese get nice, melty, and gooey. Cover it back up. Perfectly grilled on each side, and I love that the cheese kind of melted through the holes of the bread, creating like this cheese skirt situation. Oh, so beautiful. Okay, let's cut this open. Beautiful. The cheese is melty, gooey. You see the pepperoni, basil. Let's give this a try. Delicious. You can never go wrong with pizza or a grilled cheese. This is the perfect combo. These spicy chili wontons are restaurant quality, and you're not gonna believe that it only took you 5 minutes to prepare. So for the wontons, I'm using a shortcut with my favorite store-bought wontons. Trader Joe's has a delicious chicken cilantro mini wontons that are the perfect size for this dish. And I'm just gonna boil them off according to the package's direction, which is about 1 to 2 minutes. All right, let's drain them. So usually while the wontons are boiling, I like to make my spicy peanut chili sauce. So to my bowl, I'll add some peanut butter. The peanut butter gives it that nice thick nuttiness, a little sugar for balance, sesame oil, a little bit of rice vinegar for acidity, chili oil. The chili oil that I'm using here is basically sesame chili oil. They just infuse chili peppers with sesame oil, and you can pretty much find this at any well-stocked grocery stores these days in the Asian section. Nice and spicy. And finally, soy sauce. Just mix it all together until it's nice and smooth. Okay. So this recipe will probably make at least 2 to 3 servings. I would say 2 because I'm pretty hungry today. Just pour the wontons into a bowl, and then I'm just gonna pour the peanut sauce directly over the wontons. And then for the garnish, I like topping it with some black sesame, cilantro, and green onions. Saucy, hot, spicy, and so delicious. Like, this is something you can get at a restaurant, and it's just so comforting and satisfying. Steak and eggs is known as a breakfast dish, but we're gonna turn it into a sandwich that is gonna be one of the best sandwiches you've ever had. So I'm gonna start off by frying the egg, and on my pan, I'm just gonna turn it up to medium-high heat, oil it, let it get nice and hot. I like to kind of move the oil around so it kind of covers the bottom of the pan. Then I'll just crack my egg directly into the pan. If you want to, you can season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. I want a semi-runny yolk, so I'm gonna flip it over. All right, we can build our sandwich. For me, the thing that stands out the most in a sandwich is usually the sauce. And so I really wanted to amp up the flavors in here. I'm making a pesto wasabi mayo. Trust me, the wasabi and the pesto just go so well with the meat. So I have some mayo here, and I'm just gonna add a dollop of pesto and a tiny little bit of wasabi, because you know, a little bit goes a really long way. So I have 2 thick slices of bread. You can use whatever your favorite one is. Right now, mine is like this whole wheat sesame one. I'm gonna slather both slices with our pesto wasabi mayo. Now I'm gonna layer our greens at the bottom so that the weight of the meat and everything else can just flatten it down, because I'm gonna pack it. I have some arugula. It's peppery. It just brings out a lot of flavor in the sandwich. And then I have a mix of Swiss chard, spinach. So even though this is like a protein heavy sandwich, we still gotta have our greens and veggies in there, you know? Because tomatoes tend to get soggy, I always like putting it in the middle and never close to the bread. My fried egg, roast beef. For our meat, I like layering it like ribbons. That way it adds nice volume. Never just place it down flat. A sandwich just tastes better when it's stacked high, and when someone else makes it for you, for some reason. Close it up, and let's open it up. That is a perfectly cooked egg right there. Look at this beauty. Look at it. This is gonna be a little messy, but it's that jammy egg for me. Like I said, it's a little messy, but oh, it's so delicious. That wasabi pesto mayo kind of hits you in the back of the throat with a little bit of heat, but paired with the roast beef, it's so complimentary. You guys have to try this. I'm sure you guys have heard of bibimbap, which is a Korean rice dish, but today I'm gonna show you Bibim Guksu, which has the same sauce base as the rice bowl. Okay, so I'm gonna mix the sauce first. To my bowl, I'm gonna add some gochujang, sesame oil, garlic, rice vinegar for balance, honey just to sweeten it up a little bit, and soy sauce. Then we'll just give it a good mix. Typically for bibimbap, the sauce is a lot more thick and concentrated, but because I want this to coat every single strand of noodles, I am making it a little thinner. So for this recipe, you can use your favorite noodles, but I typically have ramen laying around, and I thought a lot of you guys might too. So we're just gonna make this with dried ramen noodles. I'm gonna cook it according to the package's directions, so it just takes like 2 to 3 minutes to cook this up. I've already drained and rinsed my noodles, so I'm just gonna add it to a bowl. Now this makes a really big 1 serving, or you can split it up into 2 servings. But for the sake of video, we're gonna film it as 1. I'm gonna pour the sauce all around the noodles. You can use as much or as little as you'd like. And then to top it off, I like to add some tofu, kimchi, some shredded cucumbers, and finally some sesame seeds. And now all you have to do is give it a good mix. And Nate just told me Koreans use 2 hands. Here's the tofu. So even though I used ramen, this one is still healthy and just as delicious as its counterpart, the bibimbap. It's spicy, it's sweet, and so fresh, full of flavor. The waffle machine is a machine that gets used quite often in my house, and I don't share waffle recipes enough on this channel. So today I'm gonna share one of my favorite waffle recipes with you. It's a savory one with some cheese and onion. Okay, so I'm using one of my favorite waffle mixes here, and as you can see, it's almost gone. So we're just gonna finish it off today. And if you guys are wondering which one it is, it's Kodiak cakes, which they carry at Costco. It's pretty good. Dump it into the bowl, and it's a 1-to-1 ratio of liquid. So I'm just gonna add a cup of water to this real quick. I'm just gonna use a pinch of garlic powder, some mustard seeds, ground mustard seeds, cheddar cheese, and green onions, and a dash of salt. Just mix everything together. And let's waffle it up. Just spread it out. It's gonna expand, hopefully to cover the whole thing. That sizzle. It smells incredibly delicious, cheesy, oniony. Oh, cannot wait to dig in. And here's our stack of waffles. You can see the speckled cheese throughout, and then the green onions just kind of sunk in there. I like to dip it with ketchup. These waffles are savory enough, so I don't feel like I need the bacon or eggs to make it complete. I'm perfectly happy with it the way it is. So I hope you guys enjoyed these 5 meals in 5 minutes. Just using hacks to amp up your everyday meal can just add a big punch. It doesn't have to be boring, it doesn't have to be bland, and it doesn't have to be unhealthy. All of these things used fresh ingredients, and it really made a difference. If you guys do end up making any of these, be sure to tag me on Instagram at Honeysuckle, comment below and let me know which recipe you would try first, and if you guys want to see more 5-minute meals. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!